Hello. Hello, folks. This is Chef Richard from Dad's Teaching Class. Today, we're going to show you how to complete part 2. We did part 1 with the chocolate Swiss roll. We made the sponge. Okay, I promise you that part 2 will be coming soon. Today is part 2. You're going to watch me see what I'm doing here to finish up part 2, because we're going to complete part 2 to show you how to finish it up and make the presentation. We're going to make presentation right on the tray with the basket. Remember we made a showpiece basket previously? So now we're going to show you how to present that, right? So these are my ingredients. I have syrup here. I have ganache. I have the whipping cream on the machine here. And remember now, you have to go to the ebook to download these recipes, because these recipes are in the ebook. Go to Higher Learning Cakes and Pastry by Richard Clark, and you see the ebook in many stores. Get one of these ebooks because the recipes are there. All right. So we make this. See, the sponge is right here, chocolate sponge. All right. So what I do, I flip it over. Right, and I'm going to take off the paper. Remember, we have to use the paper to protect the bottom. All right. So I'm taking off the paper, and then we're going to be rolling it. Right, squeezing it also, so that we can able to cut it. All right, so take the paper off. Very good. So now we're going to flip it over. This is the bottom of the paper. This is the bottom of the sheet. So we're going to flip this over now. It flex a bit, so you can easily flip it over. All right. And this is silicone paper. Don't use wax paper. Use silicone paper. Okay, my whipped cream is ready. So what I want to do, right? I want to wet the sponge first with the syrup. We have simple syrup. Remember, I spoke to you about simple syrup, right? It's all in the ebook. Make sure you get an ebook. So make sure we roll the sponge. Make sure it's nicely wet, because that's the best way to roll up the sponge when it's pretty wet. Make sure there's no paper goes unfortunately into the sponge. Always make sure your hides are very sharp on your product, yeah, because the hides buy the product. Okay, so when we do the product, we have to make sure, okay, that we focus. Okay, so we're wetting the sponge very good, so that it can able to roll. We want it to roll and then squeeze, and then after that, spread the ganache over. Beautiful. See, when we put the chocolate inside ganache, and when we put the whipping cream ganache, okay, and flip it over, roll it up, flip it, then we can do some more wetting. Okay. So right now we're going to put a little bit, just a little bit of ganache, first. See that? Ganache. Okay. Then we're going to spread it out. Spread them out. Beautiful. Very nice. Spread them right out. Could take a little bit more. Put a little bit more. A little bit more there. A little bit more there. All right, spread it out. Spread it out nicely. This gives you a very nice texture and tastes very nice. Right. Don't you like when you bite into a Swiss roll? It tastes very nice. Okay, that's what we do. That's what we want you to do. Okay, so now we're going to fold in now the whipping cream. Whipping cream is ready, 35%. So actually it's 250 ml of 35% cream, and we have 60 ml of ganache. Okay, and that will be enough for this layer of Swiss rolls. Okay, so what we want to do, we want to scrape this out inside. All of it. Okay. Beautiful. Just put a little tip more. Beautiful. All right, and then what we're going to do, we're going to mix it up. We just use a machine whisk and just mix it in. See? Beautiful. Look at that. Very, very nice. Wow. Woo. Very, very nice. Beautiful. All right. So that is the texture. See what it looks like? Nice and brown. So what I want to do now here, we want to scrape a little bit out first. We want to scrape it out. Very nice. Woo! The 250 ml is just perfect for this layer. You don't want to mix too much and then you waste the cream. So we put that aside. What we do now, we're gonna spread it. Woo, look how beautiful. You see, this has no egg yolk. No egg yolk inside of this. Because we're not making a mousse. We're just gonna make a light sponge cream. Make it very, very light, like a sponge. See? The whipping cream is just perfect. Ooh, look at that. All right, spread it all even. Then you go right up. Beautiful. That's finished. Very nice. Now we're going to roll. We're going to roll it from we can do from this side. Start it from this side. So what we do is press a little bit first. Roll it and then press a little bit. Press a little bit. Then we just roll it. I'm going to show you how we roll. Look. I want you to look at it. So we roll, just woo, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Woo, ha, ha. See that? Beautiful, beautiful. Woo. All right. Excellent, excellent. All right, so now we want to just take a little time to clean up a little bit so that we can able to roll it, because now this is rolling time. Beautiful. So we clean up the surface first. Very nice. But before we roll it, what we want to do is to wet it again. See that? Woo, look at that. So that we want it to be very moist, right? Very moist, very moist. Look at that, look at that. Then we roll again. Flip them over, roll again. Woo! And then just wet. After we wet, now this is finished now, finished moist. This sponge is now very, very tender. So it's easily will roll. Once the sponge is nicely wet, it will be easy to roll. Okay, let me just get a piece of paper. Okay, and then we wipe here. Make sure the surface here is nice and clean. Now we're going to go here. See that? Roll it over. And then what we want to do, let me turn it this way, see that? Now what we want to do is to tighten it. It's very important to tighten it, because if you don't tighten it, it's not going to be cut even. See? Beautiful. Ah, look at that. See that? We're tightening it nice and easy. See? Oh, look at that. Woo, see? Beautiful. Just use this scraper here and just push it in so that it tightens. Ah. Ooh, nice, beautiful. Ooh, beautiful. Now, what we want to do now, is to now we want to put it here. Right? Try to look what I'm doing. Let's get rid of this one. Okay? So this is the very, very important part of it. We want to rest it here on this board. See? So what we want to do is roll them over. We want to get them off the beautiful, beautiful. All right. Want to just lift that up and then just take the paper off, because right now it's beautiful, see? And then straighten them up. Once you straighten up, we're good. All right. Beautiful. Okay, so we have that here. It's vitally important you put it on the board, because if you don't put it on the board, you can't able to glaze it. Okay, let me get the piece of paper again. Vitally important to have paper beside you, because this is sorry about that. Sorry for the inconvenience. Have a little accident here. Anyway, we're back. We're back. So this is what we're doing here now. We're going to be pouring the ganache over this. Pouring the ganache. The ganache ready? Right. So we have the tray there. We have the rack, and we have the tray. Ganache is ready, so we poured it, ganache. Woo! Look at that beautiful stuff. Wow. Very, very nice. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. So once we've done that, this is what it looks like, see? want you to see that. Okay. So that's what it looks like. You can see it from here. See? See that? All ganache. So what we want to do now, we want to coat it a little bit on the top with some white ganache. I already have the white ganache inside. Ganache is ready. All right. We have a cone there that we put some ganache inside, so all ready. So we're going to use the scissors and cut it the point. So that the ganache can come out. Ah, see that? Woo, ha, ha. Look at that. Woohoo. Wow. Then we can go to the other side. See? Isn't that beautiful? Wow. I like these beautiful lines. Ooh, white lines. Give it a color contrast. Okay, we're done. Okay. Now that we have to put this aside, right? Because we have to cut it, and it's very difficult to cut it at this time because the cake itself is very tender. Okay. So what we do, and I did make one before, and this one is going to put aside now to get set for the next video. So what I'm going to show you now, what I did, okay, with the one that is finished, okay. Let's just clean up the table again. The table has to be clean at all times. Always remember that your table has to be clean at all times, because once you're doing pastries, sometimes it's a little bit, the table can become untidy, but so while you have to work, you got to clean the table. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the finishing part. Okay, and then the video is finished. So this is the presentation. See the beautiful presentation. So what I did, I use an electric cutter, and when the sponge is nice and firm, then we use this electric cutter and we cut the slices. See how beautiful it looks? Look at that. Nice and sharp cuts. And then make the presentation like by doing it, put it in a tray with the basket. See, this is my showpiece. So that is what the purpose of the showpiece. The purpose of the showpiece is after you finish your pastries, you can make presentation with it. You put a vase there as well as you can put a rose basket. Okay? Go for my ebook online, Higher Learning Cakes and Pastry by Richard Clark. And this is Chef Richard from Dad's Teaching Class saying,